Hello, everybody. Welcome to The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. I'm Sal.
I'm Ben.
I'm Tiffany.
This is the show where we take 3 comic books and unite them under one theme, and then talk about which one's the good, the bad, and the ugly. This episode is Holographic Cards on the Cover.
Cool.
Yeah, wasn't it?
And now we're holographic. You have that effect, right?
I do not.
Oh.
No, there's a
Sorry,
small,
we don't have the budget for that.
There was one small hologram-making firm in, Clifton, New Jersey. They are since out of business a good 20 years now. Sadly enough, they are, we can't utilize their services, nor could we replicate
Gotta go back
them.
in time.
I do really need to do that. But anyway,
Flash when you need it.
so the first episode or book we're doing is Robin 2, number 1. The next one, of course, is Wolverine 75, and, of course, Spider-Man number 26. All of these are celebrating some form of milestone, and because they all came out around the same time, they use the exact same gimmicky technology to do so. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about all of them and then rate them based on how we felt about these books. So, let's talk about Robin 2, number 1. The reason why it's called Robin 2, by the way, is because there was a mini-series called Robin, which we did on back issues, called Robin A Hero Reborn, or at least that's what it was repackaged as. This is the second Robin mini-series. I think the idea was they were only going to do mini-series for Robin until Chuck Dixon decided, no, I'm good, I'm just going to keep doing Robin. So after Robin 3, they went ongoing. Just stop.
It's just Robin.
It's just Robin
Let's
now.
stop numbering them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, no,
Sorry,
they
it's really
restarted
confusing
numbering
forever.
them. Yeah, exactly. So it stopped at Robin 3, Cry of the Huntress, which maybe we'll talk about someday, but not now. Robin 2, number 1. Ethan, tell us about Robin 2, number 1.
All right, this is Robin 2, number 1. The Joker's Wild.
Ooh, also, what's the gimmick?
The gimmick is a holographic image of Robin swinging.
Can we talk about that cover before we get into this?
This cover?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mean the fact that Batman's on it and
Well,
Batman's not in this
not
book?
just that. You tell me how those arms work.
They're really super long.
Listen.
Well, no. He's got, elbows down to his knees.
Yeah.
Yeah, his arms come out
So,
from his
you
the
know.
side of his stomach.
He's like an action figure. He has 308 points of articulation,
He's got an extra joint in
Yeah.
his forearm.
which allows it to... Listen, that's that artist, okay?
I know.
Oh, you know what it was? Is he popped his shoulder out so he could get out of a straitjacket.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
And he's just...
Right.
They're just kind of dangly.
And it's
Yeah.
just,
That's why he looks so upset.
Yeah, it's. I don't know what this cover has to do with anything.
Nothing, it's an alternate cover.
Okay. Oh.
Is it Stretch Armstrong pretending to be Batman?
We'll never know.
He doesn't have any elbows. What are you doing?
Oh, don't bend the spine.
Oh, I'm not bending the spine. I'm curling the cover around so that
Don't
it
do that
doesn't
either.
bend the spine. Well,
Yeah.
jeez.
Just lay it flat on the table and get these tweezers here and just turn the pages.
And wear these white gloves.
This starts in Arkham Asylum, and the Joker's lawyer is trying to get him a visit from his mom, and the judge or the opposing counsel, whatever, is like, I didn't even know he had a mom.
Yep.
And which, of course, spoilers, he doesn't.
Well, I mean, maybe at one time.
Yeah.
I mean, technically.
yeah, he was born of woman, I'm sure.
Right.
Maybe.
Probably.
Yeah. If he wasn't,
Most likely.
created out of clay or something.
No, he was a balloon animal that just came to life.
That's fair.
Yeah, but she's not around. So this is not his mom. This is, of course, a ruse to get him out, which works.
Yep.
It's, just the person brings a Bible that releases gas, and in the confusion, the Joker escapes, changes into his lawyer's clothes, and then his lawyer gets shot instead of him, which is a pretty diabolical scheme.
Right.
Yeah.
Which, you'd think if the person doesn't have green hair and blanched white skin, maybe don't shoot him.
No.
Right, but there was the gas.
You see how much gas there is on
There's
each
gas
panel?
is everywhere, so they can't even see what's happening.
Yeah. You
So-
are going to lose a few when
Yeah.
the Joker escapes.
And then, so the Joker escapes, he gets a cab. This diabolical plan is for a cab to pick him up.
The Joker brought low.
I guess it doesn't attract attention, I don't know.
Yeah.
So then we see Robin, and he's chilling on a rooftop, talking about how, this is his first time out, First time out solo.
Which is already not
Without
true.
Batman.
Because he did it in the first series, Robin 1.
What's his first time on patrol?
Yes.
No, you didn't call it patrol then.
No. Well,
Before
in
it
the
was
first
training.
series, that was a solo adventure. This is his first time actually patrolling Gotham.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is supposed to just be a normal day.
Yep. In fact, maybe a little quiet.
Yeah, it's cold. It's
But
wintertime.
This is bizarre because like Batman's on vacation.
Well, I assume if you were reading Batman, there'd be
No.
a crazy adventure. No.
Well, yes, but it,
like he's because
they
he's
didn't
in
even-
Mexico or something.
they didn't
He's
even
in
bother
Rio.
to
Rio.
connect them.
He's in Rio.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which, by the way,
CEO.
rereading
Yeah.
this book
No.
blew my mind.
Holy crap.
I always assumed it was deliberately ambiguous as to where he is, and in my headcanon it was that he was dealing with Ra's al Ghul in the Middle East, because like that's the only thing that would keep like Batman from being in Gotham.
Mm-hmm.
And also being like a hand-waved explanation, because like otherwise it'd be like, oh, he's helping Superman. It'd be something that would have stood out to my like 9-year-old brain when I was reading this comic. But no, it was even more forgettable. It was just that he's like he's kicking it in Rio,
I was like, Batman.
and he didn't even bring
That's
Alfred.
where you go. He says he's on a mission.
Right? Yeah. The mission is
Get laid.
like so many of us. The mission is
Batman has to go to Rio to get laid.
yeah.
So then, of course, the Joker has escaped, so the bat signal goes up, and Robin shows up at Gotham Police Department, and
What does he get there in?
what's that?
How does he get there? Does
Oh.
he take the Batmobile?
I don't know, he swings.
Does
He
swing?
swings there.
It just shows
How
him
else does he
swinging.
get around though? We'll show you.
Yeah. I thought he. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Gordon's like, where's Batman? He's like, it's just me. You got me, Chief.
But Gordon acts really weird about
Well, Gordon's
this.
like, oh, I was expecting Batman.
now
He's
this,
the reader.
now
He's
this
like,
box of chocolates and love you card are really awkward.
well, these are from my daughter, of course. It's
The
not-
problem is the Joker's on the loose, so like he doesn't want Robin. He
No.
knows that Robin is not going to be able
Well,
to.
also
handle
the
Joker.
last time that Robin battled the Joker, he was killed.
Yeah, he was beaten to death.
Gordon's
with a
like,
crowbar.
you got Superman's number? Or,
Yeah. Could-
Robin's like,
Anybody?
oh my god, I'm
Alfred?
cool. I went on a baller adventure. I fought a big jerk with
You're
no
in the
shirt
9th
on.
grade. You're like 13.
Maybe Aquaman?
Anything?
I'll take it.
Yeah.
But no,
It's just
so
Robin.
Robin's just like, hey, you got me. What's up? I can
Right.
do it. And
Give
then
me-
he's like, the Joker escaped. He's like, oh,
Oh,
How
I
about
can't do it.
how about Crypto? Is
Right?
Crypto
Crypto has
available?
superpowers.
Is he anybody else?
no.
So then
Then
Robin gets
Yeah.
in the van.
Yes. Which I was
Which
like,
I don't. Why do they even have a van?
so
Why
Robin
not?
can get in it.
Yeah, I guess.
Robin's not
It's
old
a-
enough to drive.
this is a really weird part of this
I
where
love
he's
this.
just like, I don't have a license, so Alfred has to pick me up with a van.
Yep.
It's like, why doesn't he pick you up in the Batmobile
or
then?
any
Well, there's
car.
one seat.
Like,
Yeah. No, there's 2 seats in the Batmobile.
Yeah.
But the van is supposed to be nondescript, so people don't link it to Wayne. Even though
Okay.
Alfred like is not wearing a disguise and shouts Robin's name using his very clear and distinct Alfred voice.
right.
No,
yeah, but
he
he's
is-
always in Wayne Manor. Who goes there?
Right, that's true. No one knows who Alfred is. I think that
Why would
like,
Alfred ever be driving a van? Is the other thing. Like,
That's
it's
the other
more
thing.
conspicuous to have Bruce Wayne's butler driving a beat
driving a
Yeah.
beat-up van?
crap car.
I know.
That is
Listen,
weird.
This is the Robin mobile until the Redbird, so like get used to it.
Well, eventually he's gonna get like some like sweet paint job on the outside.
Right?
Probably
Yeah,
a
put a
symbol.
sweet R on the side.
Yeah, maybe like a
A
bunch of,
wizard?
Like, I was gonna say some scary robins.
In
For these birds.
In the canon, Batman gives him, when he gets his learner's permit, a sweet car, which they
Okay.
call the Redbird, and I believe it looks like a Lamborghini.
Does it like fit in the back of the van? He like drives it out of the van.
Does
you
the
know-
van just go away?
The van is shuffled loose. Because around that time, Nightfall's happening, Batman's back is shattered, nobody has time to take care of the van.
Well, also, like,
Harold's gone.
you have to understand, it's very safe. It's big.
Yeah.
It's got good crumple protection.
Right.
I
yeah.
assume-
It can fit all his friends after school.
I assume that the van was no one's plan, and this is their solution.
Yes.
Batman's out of town.
Yeah, and
They're like-
Batman left no instructions.
Yeah.
Right,
for how to-
Alfred's
and
like,
so like Batman's
oh.
gonna show back up and be like,
You
The
took
van.
the van?
this was a plan. The plan was the van.
All
Yeah.
right,
This is the
good
van.
job.
The plan was the fan. This,
Maybe
I'm a
there's
fan of the van.
gear in the back of it, like Robin gear.
No, we've seen the van, and the inside, it's just a van.
Well, then
Maybe
there's
they
no
just
purpose.
bought it.
and
They're
by the
like,
way, there's nothing in the back seat of the
Oh.
van. Robin's just rolling around in the back.
Maybe it's for picking up criminals.
I think it's
And girls.
And yeah, because
there's just a mattress. Welcome to the second
featureless,
basement.
windowless van. So
Driven by geriatrics.
There's also a couch.
Alfred, don't look in the
Alfred.
rearview mirror. Stop.
They gotta get someone to help.
This ain't no
them.
peep show.
This is getting uncomfortable. So the Joker shows up at his hideout and is like, "Hey guys, what's going on?" And Mr. Freeze is there.
Yeah.
Which is
like-
humiliating.
And the Joker's like, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
And I didn't realize he didn't know who Mr. Freeze was.
This was a mind-blowing moment for me as well as a kid, because not only does Joker not know who Mr. Freeze is, but also Mr. Freeze is designed based off of his Kenner Superpowers action figure costume.
I was going to say, I've never seen Mr. Freeze look
Yeah,
like
I've only
he
seen
looks
that.
like a Hanna-Barbera character.
Literally, I've only seen it in action figure
it.
form.
It looks like an action figure with these things
Yes.
like, sticking out of it. Like, are those the missiles that like shoot when you
He
press a little
doesn't.
button?
None of
No,
his
those
action
are his
feature
freeze
was
rays.
only that if you get him wet, his skin changes color.
Of
But like,
course.
it looks exactly like the action figure. It's uncanny. They're also DC at this time is trying to figure out Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze is always a joke one-off character until the animated series. When the animated series changed his origin entirely, they were like, "Oh, that's what to do with Mr. Freeze. Not have Joker maybe kill him," which is
Right,
exactly
because
what
he
happened.
appears to be dead because Joker squirts him with water, ha ha ha, and then uses a joke buzzer to electrocute him.
Yes.
And break his helmet, which he clearly needs to live. Mm-hmm. And then he falls over, and that's it.
That's it, and you never see him
and
again.
they say
He's out
he
of the book.
iced him.
Yeah.
Which would normally mean he killed him.
Right, that's what in the parlance.
You
icing
put him
means.
on ice.
Yeah, that's where you put dead bodies
Yeah.
to preserve them from
But
deteriorating.
it's never explicitly stated that he's dead forever.
No,
So
and like that as a kid, without access to the
Forever
internet at the
dead.
time, there's a lot of like speculation. I'm like, why does it look like the action figure? How do they not know who he is? Are there many Mr. Freezes?
Right,
Is Mr.
that would
Freeze
make
a
the
mantle?
most sense if it wasn't Mr. Freeze.
Right, like there's constant Mr. Freezes, and they always die in like hilarious or humiliating ways. I don't know. It's never addressed. Well, never explained.
Maybe Mr. Freeze is a franchise where like he also sells ice cream.
Right.
And he also has a van.
Yeah, he predates the Good Humor Man,
Yeah.
No, I'm Mr. Freeze. There are many Mr. Freezes.
but I'm this one.
So then we see Robin in high school and, dealing with all the problems of being in high school. He's hangs out with nerds who play Dungeons and Dragons-esque games.
But they don't use the term Dungeons and Dragons.
Nope.
Do you remember what they call it?
It's a copyright.
Warlocks and Warriors.
Not bad.
Right?
That's pretty good.
I'm sold.
That's
I
what
play
it
that.
is. And they got an audacious campaign with traps and a scenario with vampires.
It sucks.
It's
Ah!
totally lame.
Sorry.
Incidentally, Robin will team up with Superman later in this series and fight vampires.
So is foreshadowing.
Yes.
Well, thank God I learned all my skill from playing the games.
Except that he's like not a nerd.
No,
He's
because
not.
then the jocks show
Yeah, the
up.
bully jock shows
Well-
up and is like, "Hey, you want to come to this party?" And he's like, "I can't." He's like, "I don't get it. Why do you hang out with these losers? Like,
Right.
you seem cool."
Yeah. And then the loser's like, yeah! And he's like, mm-mm.
No,
I assume he's a
I'm not hanging out with
nerd
anybody.
because he's their friend, but like he dresses this way. He's just trying to fit in and be inconspicuous.
Tim Drake is rich. He comes from a aristocratic family.
so we could afford like
The good clothes.
Cutting-edge clothes.
And he probably also, like, the families probably knew each other at some point or another.
yeah.
So, like, he's
you
graduated
come from,
in...
You come from a good stock. Why do you hang out with these nerds?
Yes, with the common. I
Does
don't
he
know.
go to a private school?
It's again, I don't know. As I recall, he did not. But
Again,
I can't. I
don't know.
It's not.
Don't care.
It doesn't seem like it.
It'd be weird
No.
if it was a private school and they weren't wearing uniforms.
Yes,
No, that's not true.
Really?
Yeah, lots of private schools don't have uniforms.
this is fair.
To be fair,
But-
I've never gone to a private school, so I have no
In
idea.
a comic, you would
That's a
expect it to be like a
stereotype in my head.
stereotypical
Yes.
uniform school, but it's not.
No.
So then Robin goes to Arkham. And he's like, "I guess I'll check this out." And the guy who's in charge is like, "Where's Batman?"
That's the question on everyone's
This
mind.
is what the series should have been called.
Where's
Batman?
By the way,
and that's
seeing-
when he lies.
Seeing this and this at the same time, it's just like there's no way
Then no one
you
will
can't
tell.
figure this out.
Right? He looks exactly
Yeah.
That hair,
the same.
no one else has hair like
Well,
that.
see, that's interesting you should say that, because if you look at any book by Tom Lyle, anyone under the age of 30 looks exactly like Tim Drake.
So he determines that it's unusual that Joker has so many computer magazines. Like, what does Joker need with computer magazines? And
Yep.
they're all by
a
the
great
same
question.
guy.
Mm-hmm.
So
He's gonna get early in on the porn business.
that would be a great plan.
Yeah.
He'd make a lot of money. So the guy, his name is Osgood Pellinger, and he is like a doomsayer about technology. He's like,
Yeah.
But he's
computers run everything.
But he's also like a computer expert.
Yes. That's what's so
how he
frustratingly
knows.
contradictory. He is like the Steve Jobs, but he's also like a eco-terrorist or whatever. Like,
Well, I take it as it's like Stephen Hawking, like saying, like, "Hey, maybe we shouldn't like send out messages into space,
Right, and
because
advertise where we
aliens
are.
could kill us."
Yeah.
Or Elon Musk being afraid of AI.
Yeah.
It's like then you really have to be afraid because, like, well, he would know.
That's fair. Yeah, take his word for it. He's the leading, expert on that topic.
It is a little odd though at first. Like I had to think about it and compare
Yeah.
it to those things in my head. And I'm like, okay, I guess maybe.
Yeah.
What doesn't make any sense though is that this came out in 1991.
Yes.
When computers definitely did not run everything.
No.
So the idea
Not
that
that
you
you
could
knew.
take over the world,
It's
or take over a
fortuitous.
city, or cause chaos in a city
Yeah.
by messing up computers is not accurate.
Well,
Not
it's
yet.
like they were afraid
No.
that that would happen someday. But
Right.
The Joker's plan
Yeah.
is to do it right.
He's
now.
playing the long game.
Well, I mean, nuclear missiles are still run by computers at that point.
Yeah, they're
They
just
were
punch card
involved,
computers.
but they still have mechanical buttons.
Well,
and
you will
stuff.
see.
And, like, punch
well, if we
cards.
ever
I
do
don't
Robin
think they
2,
were networked either.
if we ever do Robin 2 Joker's Wild, we will see how, like, what systems.
does he have a fire sale?
Yes.
Hey,
Look,
nobody's
we-
talking about
Whoa! whoa, whoa.
Unless you're saying you have a plan one.
All right, so
We're going to Warlock's house to play Warlocks and Warriors?
Yeah, basically.
We're not going to the Warlock's
so
house, Ben.
Robin actually like figures it out that this guy's involved, so he goes to his house.
Well,
Yeah,
he's
and
got
he's-
a hunch. He has nothing
No, he has
else
no
but
plan.
this.
But
And
it's
no
right
chill.
because like the guy leaves his house and Joker attacks him.
No,
Yep.
it's true, but it's
Yeah.
funny because like he also puts Alfred down because Alfred's like clipping articles.
Yeah, Alfred's like,
Yeah.
I'm doing crime citing the old-fashioned way. He's like, psh.
Ugh,
I'm gonna follow the
gonna
thing I
do
thought
a
of.
real
Bye.
plan.
Yeah.
Well, I was right.
Oh,
my
Alfred, you
God.
suck.
Is Alfred later?
I was so right, I'm going to win the day, right?
Are Alfred's clippings going to actually benefit? Was that like setting up like later in this book where like Alfred solves it with his clippings of petty crimes?
It's been so long since I read the whole series, and I will say,
That would be clever.
Tim does manage to solve the problem, and it does integrally involve Pellinger and his nerd friend that looks just like Pellinger.
Oh,
So,
interesting.
See, the newspaper articles would make sense if they're going to take down all the systems because it's like, well, you need a paper trail.
Yeah, because I
then.
do recall they do, like, Joker basically is like, let's take out, like, the water, and then we'll take out, like, the power, and, like, he doesn't take everything down at once. He's like, let's screw with God.
I'm going to leave the railroads up, though, because I'm making bank on them.
Yeah, exactly.
I got hotels all
So,
And he goes after the social security numbers, right?
oh, yeah.
Oh, that's
You gotta get the money.
where the real money is.
It's all about the money.
Yeah.
So the way the Joker is planning to like take this guy is by hijacking a snowplow and driving down the street. And Robin comments that like, but this street's already been plowed. But you can clearly see snow
like a
piled up in
log.
front of the
Yeah.
plow. This is the thing that bugged me the
Well,
most.
it's
about this book
just
for
lazy
some reason.
coloring. It's just,
Yeah, like-
well, as you can see, the snow's piled up on the side. Like,
Yeah,
it had been plowed.
It had been plowed, but we gotta show that
That
the snow
Well,
in the front
is
of it
being
was
collected.
Maybe
collected.
clearly the Joker doesn't understand how to work a plow, so he's had that down for like the past 5 miles.
Yeah,
Just-
Yeah, he's just been pushing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just pushing all this
over
dirty
there.
snow.
Yeah.
Well, and
Debris.
then the artist decides, well, this is a plow, but this is also a garbage truck because it then scoops the
Well,
car up.
it's a city plow. They do
It's,
dump.
it's a snow removal instead of a snow plow.
Yes, I've never seen a snow
By the
plow
way,
that looks like
this is possibly my favorite
That's
panel.
I couldn't
in
believe
frickin'
that face.
book. I took
Yeah.
off. I have a screenshot.
Yes,
of it,
I
so
couldn't
could look
believe
at it
that
later.
moment.
Because on the next page, there's actually 2 phenomenal panels, and I'm like, how is this possible?
Yeah.
Like watching like that panel, I love that panel. I thought that was really well done with the broken glass, and it's just
Yeah.
like very evocative of like
And
him like losing his mind. But that
Just
Yeah.
And
on the same page, 2 panels down, he shows someone inside a car who looks fine.
I know.
yeah. Now
Well,
it could
because
be
that shattered and he's screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now it
couldn't
could be
figure
that
out.
maybe no one was in the car originally, and they asked the inker or the colorist to fill in a face
He
to like
looks-
indicate there was somebody in there.
He looks like he has become like putty, and
Yeah.
he's going to just like.
No,
He looks like Patrick from SpongeBob.
Yeah, he
Yes.
literally just well, basically, Joker hits his car with such force that he loses one dimension, so he becomes 2-dimensional.
All
And
his-
once he
For like a
becomes,
second.
yeah,
I assume all his bones fall out for a second.
right,
And Robin can't stop him. He takes out one guy with a pole, but
Yeah.
for some reason, this bothered me. When Robin jumps on the plow, he shoves his stick through the window at the passenger.
Right, not at
Not
Joker,
at
the driver.
who
Because
would
the
have stopped the whole
passenger's shooting
thing.
at
Yeah,
him.
he's firing
is
at
he
him.
shooting at
Yeah.
him? Oh yeah, there's a bullet
Yeah,
there.
he's firing.
Okay, I guess that makes sense.
Like he's the only one.
He's like, I gotta take him out first, and then
Yeah.
I'll address the Joker.
And then the Joker is like, "What? How is this possible? I killed you!" Like, I guess he can't conceive of the fact that,
That Batman-
could have just put someone else in the costume.
Well, especially
It's not even the same
It's not even the same costume.
Well, no, but it's like the Joker's like, that would be crazy.
Yeah. Why would he do that?
Why would Batman?
I've
put
already
someone-
illustrated the dangers of letting a child get involved in this lifestyle.
Right, and Batman's never put someone else in the Robin costume
Yeah.
before. Like,
And they've also
oh.
indicated the Joker knew that Jason Todd was different from from Dick Grayson. He can tell the difference between these Robins. I think later he does also he basically says I don't know if it's I killed you because he thinks that he's the same Robin, or if he's like, no, I killed the idea of you.
Right.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be
Right.
any more Robins. I killed Robin.
Right,
I thought
it's
he
over.
learned.
I ended
Yeah,
the line.
I thought I taught Batman to knock it off.
The line of Robins is broken.
It has been remade. So but Joker's meltdown kind of also spooks Robin, I think. 'Cause I know
Yes.
it was also kind of
It is scary.
It's one of the only moments of legitimate coolness in this entire series. Is
Yes.
Joker freaking out about the fact that Robin's back?
Right. And they hint to a reference to the fact that the Joker's obsessed with Batman, and it's unhealthy, and it's kind of messing with him.
Yeah, because earlier when Joker meets up with his gang, he's talking about all the great things he's going to do, and his gang's like, wow, your time in Arkham must have really been beneficial because you haven't mentioned Batman once.
Yeah.
Which, why would you do that?
Yeah.
You're asking to get killed.
Well, you never mentioned Batman.
I'm sorry.
What?
Never mentioned you?
Shit.
Bathrooms?
You haven't mentioned having to go to the bathroom. It was a long drive from Arkham. He's just swinging from the ceiling.
So then...
So Robin's like, get in the van!
Robin goes to the van, or the van finds him. Alfred finds him in the van.
You
He's
weren't
like,
at the rendezvous, Master Drake.
Yep.
So I just drove around.
I drove around until I saw literally a Christmas tree just running
we
around.
didn't get radios or anything. We really didn't think about this
At
at
all.
all. How this was going to work
At all.
And
What
he's like,
happened?
I screwed up.
I mean,
I let
technically
him
he
get
was
away.
right, but he did let him get
Right,
away.
and
Yeah.
then Alfred gives him his juice box and a snack.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
drives him home.
He's like, it's almost after 6.
So then the Joker reveals his master scheme, which is to use this guy to sow chaos in the city. And then we get more Robin doubting himself.
Yep. But what's his master plan? What's Robin's plan at the end of this issue?
Well, he doesn't have one. He says, we need a brilliant plan. Oh, to make people think that Batman's still around.
That's it. Just
Yeah.
we need to pretend that Batman's
because
still
he's
around.
afraid the Joker will really go nuts if he knows that Batman's
Yeah.
not.
Which
Which is a good point.
it's a smart move, especially given the fact that we established earlier in the book that Joker is unhealthily obsessed with Batman, which is a joke because we know,
Right.
But it's more so.
Yeah.
He's really, really into Batman right now, and if Batman doesn't show up, he's gonna melt down.
Yeah, and also if you can make him think that Batman's around, that'll distract him from what
Yes.
he's doing. He'll be trying to find Batman.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, not even find Batman. I think it's also the idea that, look, we have to pretend that Batman's here because he's either going to go crazy because Batman isn't here to stop me, or what do you mean Batman's not here?
And
I better go even
I better
crazier
kill a lot of
and
people.
draw him
Yeah.
in.
It's a
so
little bit of
Batman
both,
shows up.
as it turns out. In this series, it's only I think 4 or 6 issues, and it's a pretty fun story, kind of.
Yeah.
I really dig it. I have the whole thing. I would like to do it a back issue someday, but I thought we'd do the first issue just to kind of get you whet your appetite a little bit for Robin
Exactly.
too.
So, can we also just talk about the fact that he just keeps mentioning how cold it is?
It's
He's
very
just like,
cold.
good thing I got my
Yeah.
thermals
Yeah,
and
but
my
what-
short sleeves.
Yeah. He,
I'm like-
he has
Yeah.
gloves and the sleeve, but there's
So
the
it's a little
and
bit
the
of yeah.
sleeve is huge, so
Yeah.
the wind's just
Yeah.
flapping up in there. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Well,
Yeah.
that's
well,
what
he's
it
got
looks
a thermal
right, so his
core.
core is warm.
Yeah,
Well,
which
his
is
arms are just
important.
going to fall off.
Yeah.
When he graduates to being Batman, then he'll actually get
It's
sleeves.
real sleeves.
Yeah.
Nice.
He should have put on his winter gear
Then we'd
action figure attire.
Yes. Yeah. Winter Attack
And then,
Robin.
then that would
yeah.
make the Mr. Freeze thing make more sense.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the only reason I can think of that Mr. Freeze is in this book, because they talk about how cold it is.
Yeah.
Well, let's
Yeah.
make Freeze.
I think it's just, they're like, what's a throwaway villain at the
yeah.
time?
Yeah,
that
at
we
the
can
time,
maybe kill.
Right.
And no one will kill.
And no one will notice.
He even makes fun of him. He's just like a knockoff Captain Cold. I'm like,
Yeah.
What?
no, Captain Cold is
It's
a
the knockoff. What? And I mean that. Listen,
Crazy.
And
that's
now
why I
could
like
be
these
wrong.
time
Maybe
capsules.
Captain
It's
Cold
fun.
was first.
I don't
know.
remember. I
Yeah.
want to say Freeze
Who-
was
who
the
could say?
40s or 50s, but so was Captain Cold. So who the hell knows?
Yeah. Well,
I think Freeze came first.
It's weird that the Joker knows who Captain Cold is, but not
Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze, who works in his own city.
Yeah.
Like in Gotham.
That's just how he keeps his head down. He just focuses on the task at
And
hand.
the Joker's like, I don't pay attention to the other supervillains.
Yeah,
in town.
they're beneath me.
Yeah.
Captain
who
Cold
are
is
you?
alliteration,
Yeah.
so he's just like that
Yeah.
and stuff.
I like that one. Yeah, I didn't try to learn it. It just kind of like got trapped in there.
It's probably deliberate on his part. He's like, who are you? Like, trying to get under his skin.
Right. He's like, oh, look, it's Captain Cold. He's like, Captain Cold is Flash villain. Come on, I'm Mr. Freeze.
We're all in the same universe.
Ben, you want to tell us more about Wolverine number 75?
Oh, boy.
This
Tell
was
us the gimmick and more about what happened.
so the gimmick again is a nice holographic cover.
Yeah.
Or a holographic card.
On the cover.
On the cover. This one, though, is different than the Robin 2.
Yeah.
Because Robin 2 had a holographic background, but it was like a sticker of Robin on the front. He was flat.
Yeah,
But he was many colors.
that's
Right.
true.
This one actually has Wolverine popping out from the background.
Coming right at you.
There's a lot of depth, and he is snarling.
Yeah.
But what sucks is that it's the Wolverine that we all know and love, and not the Wolverine that's in the story who's had the adamantium ripped out of his body.
Yeah.
It's clearly the metal claws in
yeah.
the card, and the whole point of the book is that he doesn't have the metal.
Well, because
claws.
literally this is the next issue.
Yeah.
The issue
Right.
before is that not Wolverine, but X-Men.
Right.
He gets the adamantium ripped out. This is the aftermath.
But they're like, look, if we're gonna make a card, we're not gonna make like disheveled and like damaged.
Wolverine.
Here's the thing:
Wolverine.
it takes a while to make these cards, so
Right.
they didn't have an existing Bone Claw Wolverine character.
Well, it should have been the image of Wolverine having the adamantium pulled out of his body, like it's coming at you.
I think that would have been
Like,
really
like
complicated,
he's
and
back here and it's like flying at you.
kids be like, "What am I
Yeah.
looking at?" As it stands, the cover I can't even make heads or tails.
Oh,
of
the
it.
cover is
Well, the
bizarre.
cover's insane.
It's unbelievable.
But
It's
the
a
great
fever
thing
dream,
about
and
this
that's
one,
the point.
Yeah.
it may be the fact that it was well preserved, but this is incredibly clear.
Yes,
Yeah, and it looks cool.
right. So what
Even though
happened?
it's the wrong Wolverine.
Right. So what happened?
He's just enamored with that cover.
like,
I'm
you,
sorry,
like,
I got lost in the
rebooted.
cover.
Like, huh?
See, I
Oh,
grew
right,
up with this
we're doing
thing.
a show.
I've
I'm
just been
sorry.
looking at the cover. I'm like, I had time. I've had 20 years to do this.
No, that's all I did. There's more.
How does it look three-dimensional but it's flat? I don't understand.
And
What
then
is this black magic?
Then I just spent hours looking up holograms.
I just got blazed and just looked at it. Dude, do you have any more?
I put on some Led Zeppelin. It was great. Apparently, they're flying back from right after the fight with Magneto.
Yes.
Flying?
They're flying back in the Blackbird.
I mean,
Plummeting.
Yeah.
They were
Like-
flying.
Were they on a different planet?
Yeah. Oh, they were in space.
They were in space.
Yeah, they were
Oh,
on.
because Wolverine or Magneto was on the space station.
Yes, it was
Yeah.
on the space station that he
From,
stole from Cable from Avengers X-Men Blood Ties.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do not remember that.
No. Well, we didn't do that story. That was Fatal Attractions. In that story, it doesn't matter. The fact is, they were in space. Now they're coming back.
They're in space, and they're trying to make it back fine. Wolverine is in tatters, and Professor X and Jean Grey are just like, all right, let's try and fix Wolverine.
Using our
and,
minds.
And everyone else, just, keep us from dying.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's also Bishop and Quicksilver and Jubilee and I think that's it.
I don't think
Oh,
Jubilee's-
Gambit.
Jubilee's on the ground.
Jubilee's on the ground.
Yeah.
It's Rogue and Gambit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're trying to fly the ship. And the ship's crashing for some
This
reason.
also makes a lot more
We
sense
don't
because
see.
I was like, Rogue can fly. Why didn't she just help
Why
him?
doesn't she just
But
get
she
out?
can't go in space.
She can't go in space.
Right.
Aha!
Yeah, why doesn't it get out and pick up the
No,
boat?
actually, there's a couple of moments in this where I was like,
Why isn't Rogue doing anything?
yep.
Yeah.
There's one in
it's true, she doesn't-
particular.
There's the you mean the most dramatic moment in the entire book?
Well, I guess there's
Where it's
really
like, why
two.
doesn't it just do this?
Yeah. Why doesn't Rogue do that? Why doesn't she fly? Why doesn't she pull the ship together?
Well, no, it's not just that. There was like literally a moment where like Bishop calls for Gambit.
Yeah.
To abandon Wolverine and then like
Yeah.
to pull a lever, and I'm like, Rogue?
She's
Anyone.
No, she's doing something else. She's over there like,
Whoa, 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 whoa.
She's standing behind his chair.
I don't let ladies fly my plane.
The reality is the writer just didn't think of it.
They
There's too many
forgot.
characters.
it's funny because they try really hard to like give everyone like you go over
Tiffany.
here, you go over here.
Tiffany, I'm
you
not
come
going to
over
let
here.
a
Now come over
woman
here.
grab a joystick. It looks like she's giving someone a hand job.
Yes, that is way
A guy
too
doing
graphic.
it is just masturbation. And
Yeah.
these are comic book readers. They do that all the time.
Wow. So anyway, we're plummeting to our doom.
So, anyway,
And that's the book.
Professor X. There you go.
They plummet to their doom, and then they're saved at the last second. That's the book.
But at least Gambit gives us a good dick and hand joke.
Yeah, he does.
Professor X and Jean Grey are just in Wolverine's mindscape. This is just a fever dream of insanity. All his villains are attacking him. He's in horrible pain. He's in different stages of who he
There's
is.
fish.
Yeah. Piranha, I believe, but without the fangs.
Oh.
It's
They're
weird.
really prominent. I assume that's a reference to an adventure that he
God
has.
only knows.
No,
I
I just...
don't know because there's also like Dollyisms in there.
Yes,
Yeah.
like,
There's
does he really like Spanish
Like-
impressionism? Like,
And the leg? Like, I saw the clock over here,
Surrealism?
and then I
Yeah.
saw his clocks
sorry,
in his
everybody.
leg,
yeah.
which was just bizarre.
Well, I think the idea is
Oh,
that
yeah.
like, he's kind of like ripped
I didn't even
apart.
see that. That's cool.
Like the, I don't know.
It's his mind.
Yeah.
Like,
This is
nothing's
mine.
supposed to
Who-
make
who
sense.
even knows?
So they're fish. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He likes fish.
It's weird looking.
Moving
It's supposed to
on.
make you feel weird.
Well, mission accomplished.
Then you get the spot where, like, Magneto's pulling all of his stuff out, and
Which I appreciated
Now-
because then I was like, oh, that's
Yeah.
what
that.
happened.
you
My-
got the Weapon X program.
My favorite part of that whole sequence is every time Jean Grey suggests or says anything, Professor X is like,
No!
"Duh!
I've
Don't
already
you
done
know
it.
Anything? Oh my god!
Yeah.
Haven't you ever been in a place like this
Well,
before?
you have
What do
two
know?
It's
characters.
like he brought her just to do that. They
Yeah.
don't do anything. He makes fun of her and then they leave.
I have a theory
Unless-
about that, by the
Well,
way.
and
Also,
he
he
has-
could explain it to the readers.
Yeah,
Like,
he's just exposition.
My theory about this is because in the X-Men book, the Populars go to fight Magneto, which is why Wolverine goes to fight Magneto,
which you should never ever do.
which you should never ever do because it's made of freaking metal. So then you give the next chapter to Wolverine, a writer who's only usually writing about one character. And he's got to write about 7 characters in one enclosed
Okay.
space. And he's
Yeah.
like, I don't know what to do with all these guys. I'm writing for Wolverine. I know what to do with Wolverine. He's freaking out. Well, yeah, what are you going to do with Bishop? Who is Bishop?
But
Bishop
future.
flies the plane, Chief.
at least they talk to each other.
They
Like,
do talk to each
Jean
other.
Grey is just like she mentioned something about like the horizon, and he's just like, "There's no horizon. Like, there's no reason for
There's
him
no
to say that."
horizon. Jesus.
Yeah.
We're in the mind.
Sorry, Professor. I'll never be as good as you.
But then it's really funny because she says like, "This is like wrong. Like we're seeing all his deepest, darkest secrets." And Professor's like, "Oh yeah, we gotta get out of here."
It's cool.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, that's right.
I've been in places like this
Because
before.
I've already looked. And I forgot that, like, not everybody is privy to, like, how many times I read people's minds.
Don't worry, I did this to Magneto a couple times.
Yeah, he literally did it 2 minutes ago, before they
Well,
left.
it's funny because he doesn't address the question. Because right after there's like, "Oh, we're getting pulled out. We have to deal with the ship now."
Oh, no!
Like he just refuses to address it
So like,
at all.
Professor
Shut
X
up,
is just a
Jean.
big dick in
Yeah.
this book.
Professor X is a big dick pretty much for his entire career.
Yeah.
The plane is going haywire, and I didn't realize this, that because Wolverine encountered so much trauma, his healing factor is having trouble catching up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have him on, like, a medic bed
Yeah.
that's
Even
really
though-
specific in the Blackbird.
Yes.
Even though he can regenerate from a single cell.
It's later. They came up with that idea later.
Oh, okay.
Right now, it's just like, he's awesome.
Right.
But not right
This
now.
is probably
But-
the most egregious or grievous injury he's ever had.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine, like,
It's like his
every
whole body.
cell in your body, like, almost being damaged from all of this.
from like all of your bones were shaken and the let's say like the outer layer of them ripped off.
Right, but they
And
act
through your pores.
They act like this is never gonna get better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like as though something he did altered his like
Biochemistry.
X gene. Yeah, it's like
Yeah. And
Well,
it did.
It was the
Oh,
adamantium.
Because
yes,
it makes his
but they
freaking
mention
nose
his-
go away. and
They
stuff.
mention his healing factor is weakened.
Yes.
They don't say why or how.
Nope.
yeah, and that's bizarre.
Because I think they're planning on
Must have
addressing it
happened.
later because they don't know what they're doing.
Ah.
The
And
only idea they had was Magneto pulls out the adamantium. That's it.
Even Professor X goes like, "Oh, look, his body's trying to catch up, but it's just as I feared. The wounds aren't going away."
Yeah, because we see it like heal and then it doesn't, and then he's like, ah, and you're like, what?
Why would that ever happen?
I guess because like
it
his
just healed
body's trying to
itself.
heal over here, and then it goes over here, tries to heal there, and then it like degrades over here.
Yes.
because it can't
'Cause it
heal
can't
the
keep
whole body simultaneously.
That's right. We've never done that
There's
before.
like-
He's
like
never
it's-
experienced that amount
There's
of
like
trauma.
one little ambulance just driving
That's
around his
yeah.
body.
It's like there's a little
desperately-
guy in there like trying to like heal.
Oh my god, it's over here! Oh no!
Like okay,
It's like
that's,
playing
that's
burgers.
one
Oh,
way
yeah.
to describe.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to drink all these beers.
Yeah, it's like they think there's a consciousness controlling the healing factor or
Yeah.
something that can
Which
be
would've
like
been a-
too busy.
Which would have been a neat idea, I guess, to explore. It's better than what they did with him ultimately.
So then Wolverine wakes up because like he gets tossed around in the plane.
Because the plane's crashing and
It's
everyone's
falling apart around.
Professor X is gonna knock him out, and Wolverine's like, "No, no painkillers. I have plenty of time to not feel anything when I'm dead." And I'm
Yeah.
like, what the hell kind of talk
That's how
is that?
badass.
He's
he
a
is.
badass.
Such a bad.
Wouldn't painkillers not even work as his healing factor? It's just like Reject the
the good stuff works. That's why he drinks.
The what is it, metamorphine?
Yeah.
Metamorphin. You
It's
can't get
meta.
regular morphine.
No. He's got to use the metamorph.
It's for mutants.
Yes.
Mutant-specific morphine.
No, it'll be fun.
It's how we can knock out Rogue and stuff.
Ah,
And Wolf.
makes sense.
So they're still plummeting. Moira McTaggart.
Oh.
Moira.
Oh,
I can't say her name without.
No, it's written phonetically.
When you say Moira,
Yeah, done.
you're speaking.
You're
Spanish.
speaking.
She's currently my favorite Overwatch character.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So she's talking on the ground because she's having the plane come in, hopefully in one piece.
Right.
Trying to guide them and like get people on the ground ready.
Yeah.
And Jubilee is freaking the hell out.
Because she's the new Shadowcat. The idea
Yeah.
is that like Wolverine always has like a teen girl sidekick, and originally it was Shadowcat, and then for the '90s it was Jubilee, and they did a bunch of series. Like actually, most of the Wolverine book was him and Jubilee like teaming up.
I love that sequence later on where they're all around
And
Moira.
Shadowcat's there too.
Yeah, she's like concerned about Logan, and like Jubilee's concerned about like Logan, and like Storm's concerned about Professor X, and Cyclops is there.
like, Gene,
Everyone's like,
shut up, Scott.
And Beast is just keeping a cool head.
yeah.
Yeah, I love that moment too, because Scott's like, oh, this is just like when Jean fell in the ship and she became the Phoenix. Oh, Jean. Scott,
Everything's not about Jean.
We're in the
Everything's not
Wolverine
like
book.
the Phoenix.
It's not. It doesn't always come back to the
Every
Phoenix.
time something bad happens, it's not like when the Phoenix.
Oh, no! I love Jean. Just basically a perfect distillation of the cartoon show, by the way. If you ever wanted to watch Cyclops and like what he does, he just yells Jean. Anyway,
So as they're plummeting to their death,
Mm-hmm.
the ship is just breaking apart, and the only person that can keep everything together.
it's Scotty. Because she's pulling apart and I can't keep it together.
Yes. And if they had Scotty, it would be perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But apparently it's Jean Grey.
Right.
Because she's the linchpin.
Well,
no,
she's
no,
the key to
because
all.
Professor X
Control
is going back in the
things.
body. He's like,
Yeah.
I gotta go back in there, and I'm
And
gonna,
you're like,
I'm gonna muck
why?
around.
Yeah, exactly.
We didn't do anything when we were there in the first few pages.
You know what?
And
I
it's really
just
unclear what
want
we're
to.
gonna
It's
do
really
now.
interesting. I'm just gonna go.
Well, it's like he's in such pain that he can't really stop me right now. So I
Yes.
can
So
actually
I'm gonna
find
go
everything.
find out what's going on in there. Here's the thing. I don't want the responsibility of holding the plane together.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
seems like a Jean job.
Yeah.
Right.
So if
It's
you
always.
fail,
And
it's fine.
make the wings work, make the flaps work, or
By the
whatever.
way, more than 2/3 of this book is just them falling.
Yeah.
It really
Oh
is.
yeah,
It's
I'd say
most of
like
the book.
like if 7/8 of this book.
Yes.
is the plane
It's
right.
falling.
It's them falling and Wolverine dying,
them
and
fall- it's
so
not
they're
just
always
that.
trying to hold it together.
It's also telling people to do things.
yes.
Yes.
Like,
you do
okay,
that. Yeah.
Gambit, come up here and watch the bed because Rogue's busy standing over Bishop's chair,
Yeah.
not
Not-
really doing
Yeah.
anything.
Doing nothing and being like, oh, we're
Yeah.
gonna crash.
Well, because the author
And then-
knows that like the only characters he wants to use are Wolverine, Jean, maybe Professor X.
And Quicksilver.
And
Because
Quicksilver.
Quicksilver's really fast at controls because the computer dies.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So they have to fly by wire.
Yeah.
But
the
there's no way they can
fly-by-wire
make the
system
calculation.
dies.
Oh, the
So
fly by
they-
whatever.
Yeah, the
So-
electronic guidance or whatever
Yeah.
dies. Yeah.
So
So
Quicksilver's
Quicksilver has to make all the calculations faster than the computer.
which is cool. Like that's a good use of Quicksilver.
Except
Yeah.
he's not that smart.
No.
Well, yeah. I think it's the way they describe it. I think what they're going for is like there's a plane around this time. The stealth plane, the first one that's all angly.
Yeah.
That they made a big deal about how like it needs a computer to run the wings
Stabilization.
and stuff because like it like shakes and tweaks so fast that like a human can't possibly react fast enough.
So that's what they're
to,
drawing
like,
from.
keep it from spinning out of control.
Yeah.
So they're like he can feel it like start to like
Yeah,
go
he
to the
knows
left,
when he
and-
messed up and he fixes it
So
real
he-
fast.
and he can fix it real fast. I think that's what they're trying to go for. They don't
Okay.
really explain it that well.
I really
but-
hope so because it looks like he's just punching in calculations.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
definitely what he's doing.
Apparently, Wolverine's inner turmoil is also affecting like his ability to heal because like he's going through so much trauma mentally as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Professor X likes to
Mental
imply that like
anguish.
the mental damage is as important as the physical damage.
Yeah.
Like,
Or that, like
later on, sure, but right now, let's just keep him alive.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Is
like,
that-
we gotta keep his,
Is
his
the
mind
mental
whole.
damage like affecting his healing factor? Is like that the idea?
I think it's a little bit of a column A, column B situation because like
or like if he's mentally damaged, like he won't have the will. To
yeah,
live.
we need to fix Wolverine's mind so that he will consciously help. God damn.
I mean, based on what ultimately
Yeah.
happens, that's my best guess. Because what he should say is like, Wolverine will just let himself die if we don't like patch him up in the mindscape.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think that's what he's going for.
We just have to justify Professor
after
X
the fact.
doing something.
Yeah, right.
That's
Which
really
he
it.
doesn't. He fucking fails. But anyway,
So we get more stuff in the Mindscape. It's insane.
now it's real bad. In these pages, he's like coming apart.
It's like nightmare mode.
Yeah, this is like the worst part of the Mindscape.
And Magneto's there, and it's happening all over again.
Right, like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And
There's
then
a skeleton.
It just, yeah.
Yeah.
Charles tries to keep him from dying.
Right.
He's basically
Yeah.
like,
Don't
you can't-
die.
Don't go to that horizon. Go to,
Yeah, don't
go
go
to
to
the
the
light.
light. It's
Don't go to the
literally
light,
don't
boy.
go to the light.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Wolverine's like, no, I want to go to the light.
And
But
really,
it's so
like,
warm, and you hear the music, and he's like, Logan, it's death. He's like, and this was a really sad panel for me.
Yeah.
Because you just see a close up of Wolverine's eye, and it's crying. He's like, Charlie, don't you think I know that?
yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah. I'm not dumb.
Yeah, I know
You
where
hear
it's-
music and you see your dead friends. Like, I know.
It's,
He's
she's
like,
not
I-
taking me to Applebee's.
He's like, I assume it's just because he's like, I've caused enough of it.
yeah, I know how I know what it looks
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
I'm the best at what I do, and right now that's done.
It's fair.
So, he sees Ileana.
Yeah.
Like,
Magic.
Rasputin.
yeah.
Yeah.
Colossus' younger sister?
Yeah.
Oh, 'cause
Okay.
she died recently?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Kitty later on is just like, I can't handle this versus Ileana.
Jubilee's like, whap!
Yeah.
You're so 80s. Shut up.
I'm going to the mall.
I'm going home.
So, Wolverine is at this point ready to die.
Well,
But
she's
Jean
actively
has to
dying.
keep the ship together.
Yeah.
Jean
Because-
has to have a problem.
Well, because the hatch is going to fly off,
Yeah, 'cause
and
it's-
she has to keep it together with her mind instead of, again, Rogue holding the door.
holding
Right?
it.
I would-
Yeah,
no,
Rogue
Rogue's-
watches.
Oh, it's gonna
Sitting in front of
fall
some
off because of
dials.
the atmosphere and the pressure?
Yeah, let me just hold that for you.
Does
Got it.
Rogue like not have her powers right now?
She does. She uses them in the last story. Like,
Look, I established. Rogue is in the cockpit, sitting
You know what it is?
behind Bishop.
You know
behind
what it
Bishop.
is? Bishop's chair is not bolted.
So she's holding Bishop.
She's got a
And she needs to leave him his dignity, so she won't tell him.
So Jean Grey's going to run from one thing to the first. The wings falling apart. Now the
And then the
hatch
hatch.
is coming off.
Yeah.
And she's trying to keep it all together, but there's a lightning storm they fly into. She's like, Jean,
It's
you gotta
going.
keep your concentration, because if
Man.
one small distraction happens...
Yeah.
If only there was some mutant on the ground waiting for
Control
them.
the weather.
Like, stop that.
You mean like Storm, who's waiting for them on the ground?
Yes!
Oh, well... Anyway,
She doesn't do it.
the plane gets struck by lightning. Doesn't damage it somehow, even though there's an explosion.
Well, it's immune to
But-
lightning.
But
Yeah.
it distracts Jean enough where it's like, oh, my concentration slipped. Oh,
Oh,
we're
I dropped the
screwed.
door.
Yep.
Oops.
Oh, and who's the first one sucked out? It's me.
Yeah.
But I'm still holding on.
It's going a mile a minute, I gotta say.
Yeah.
So then Jean is freaking out,
'Cause she's
trying to
gonna
be
die.
like, I know, I'm gonna keep everything fine. I'm just gonna be out here and
Yeah.
die, but you're all gonna live.
Well, she pushes them back in. Like everyone
Yeah.
else is getting sucked out, and she uses her
Including
mind.
Rogue.
Yeah, you know, who can fly.
Well, maybe the ship's moving so fast that it's way faster than even she would fly.
We'll see how much horseshit that is in just a second.
So Jean is crying out, like, everyone stay alive, and Professor X is crying, Jean, and then we hear the narration cry, Jean, apparently it's Wolverine, because the
Jean!
person that saves her,
Jean!
Wolverine, in his mind, is running away from Ileana and the light now, and he's reaching out to Jean in his mind, and he also reaches out to her in real life, and he grabs her, and he's like, I've got you, I'm gonna pull you back in. You're like, okay, I guess you're fine.
Yeah.
Man, if,
Yeah.
if
And I-
only Rogue or someone had also tried
Right.
to pull her
I
in.
just flown back there real quick and grabbed her.
Wolverine does it. Which, of course, he has to because it's his freaking
I
book.
know, I
Yeah.
know.
But,
And also he loves her.
like, he's not strong enough to do that.
No, he is.
What?
His love makes him strong.
And I think, does Jean say it here or does she say
Desire
it
to
later?
bone her makes him really
Yeah.
strong.
I
His
just-
heart
you die, I'll
and
never
his dick
I'll never
grew
bang
two
you.
sizes that day.
Yeah, he really is the
It's,
Grinch,
it's
and he lifts
not
the
just
sled.
the bone claws that he got that day.
Is it here or is it later where she says, like, you recovered from me?
Yeah, it's somewhere
Yeah,
around
you
here.
came back for me.
That's it.
He's like, you got it the other way around, Jean. It was you who reached out and took my hand.
Yeah, no, you did, Wolverine. It's always you.
Yeah, you're the one holding my hand, though.
No, you reached out to me. Fuck Scott.
In my mind, you reached out to me.
And I like how...
In my mind.
Okay,
you
well,
were
that's
to
in
me.
your mind,
Yeah.
though, Logan.
Well, and also in my mind, you were naked.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And it was awesome. I also like
Inappropriate.
how Jean is totally okay with it. She's like,
Yeah.
in this period, Jean kind of entertains Wolverine's advances. She's not ever going to deliver on them,
Right.
but she's always like, Wolverine, does this overly aggressive gesture of affection mean that you love me? Yeah. You want to maybe seal the deal? Oh, I can't. Cool.
By the way, now the Blackbird is fine.
Yeah.
Oh, and then it's fine.
Well, once they slow down to past the re-entry speed.
Well, wait.
Even though parts of the ship have broken
did
off.
they lose a wing?
But the most
Collapse, I think.
it was coming apart, but now the stresses on the ship are low enough because they've slowed down.
Oh,
the
so
most-
now Rogue can go out there and help fly them in.
yeah,
At some
No,
point, she should.
no,
be
she's
able
not
to
going to do that.
the
either.
most emotionally climactic moment has now passed. It's time for the ship to calm
And
down.
now everything's
Oh,
fine.
the issues to the technology were caused by emotions
Yeah.
and drama.
Yeah,
Well, like the ship breaking apart was just like Wolverine's emotions breaking apart.
right.
And now that he's okay, the ship is fine. It's an empathic ship,
Oh,
Yeah.
like
That's-
in that show.
That's dumb.
Yeah, Lex. It's a living ship.
Or
Farscape?
Farscape,
That's what I was
that's
thinking
what I
of.
was thinking
Yeah.
of.
Yeah.
Well, Lex was also
Lex was also a
living
living ship, but it sucks.
Now it's the danger room, and everyone's training, and Wolverine's like, "You gotta
months
give me my
later,
shot,
yeah.
Charlie."
Yeah, me too. And they're all like, no.
But you can't. You're still not healed. And he's
It's
like,
been like 2 weeks.
He looks fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he doesn't have his adamantium.
That's-
What'll he do?
That's the thing. Like, how could you beat these robots and stuff? You're
Wolverine.
just a dude now.
Right, but you have the healing factor, and you're tough.
No, all you were claws.
Also,
Yeah,
your
that's
healing
all you
factor
are.
isn't working?
Right, and it's not working
unclear
right.
what's wrong with it, but it's not
For
working
some
right.
reason.
Yeah.
Anyway, Charles like, no, he has to learn and do this on his own.
Yes, he knows he's gonna fail too.
Right, and is that? I was confused because at first when he said that, I'm like, is he saying he has to learn that like he can't really fight anymore?
Yeah.
I
Oh,
gotta,
that's
I
exactly what it
gotta
was.
beat him up so that he knows.
So he knocks it off and goes back to the infirmary. And
You
shuts
understand? Every time I've told him like you gotta knock it off, and he just keeps on going. Be like, no, I'm impervious.
Yeah.
Well, you're not now.
Well,
Yeah.
let's see about.
I
that.
can't walk and you can't heal. So Wolverine's like kind of getting the crap kicked out of him. He's taking some
scared.
licks.
Yeah, and he's scared. That's right.
Yeah.
They talk about how he's scared.
Beast is
Not
saying
first
he's like,
time.
ooh,
Oh.
this is very interesting.
up. Yeah.
Scott's like,
Oh,
oh,
read
he's
some tests.
vulnerable.
Yeah. Sweet. Optic blast.
Oh, no, I was going to say he was worried because he's like, chicks dig that.
Oh no.
I'm scared too, Gene.
Yeah, me too. I'm always scared. Gene.
You better nurse me back to health.
Jean has the most like I don't give a crap look on her face in that panel, while Jubilee is terrified.
Yeah.
Jean's like, I'm done.
Jean's
be
managing the
easier
weight
if
of
you
her hair.
I've checked out.
Well, because it's all shooting out of her head sock.
Well, that's Vidal Sassoon.
I love this moment. I think it's awesome.
He still is like, you understand? I'm gonna take him down because I'm the best at what I do. And we hear a shuck, and Marta goes, ugh. Professor X goes, my God.
My God.
If only he had glasses to take off.
Oh my God. Give it a 50 scientist.
And then in the beginning of the book, we had this amazing narration where, like, imagine a scream where it sounds like a hideous noise, like the worst torment you could ever imagine, but then you realize the scream's coming from yourself. And in this panel, we get Wolverine Scream because the bone claws have come out.
Bone claws are ready.
And it's
Like his
graphic.
claws,
There's
they're bone.
blood
How can
everywhere.
that be? And
Yeah.
but he's just like dripping with blood and screaming, and it's agony, and you're
Yeah.
like, holy crap.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. I dig it.
Yeah, it is intense.
So then you cut.
Yeah.
And time
hard
has
cut.
passed, and Wolverine and Jubilee are hanging out by a tree, and she's just like talking to him about what's on her mind, like being stressed because like he really can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she's supposed to like keep an eye on him and make sure he's like occupied, I guess.
Yeah, not fighting robots in the danger room.
Yeah.
Yeah, not doing crazy stuff. And he's just like, no, I'll be fine. And he pops him out again, and every time he keeps popping him out, and he's like, it's like I'm just keeping the channel open. He's like, he's like, doesn't that hurt?
Every time.
He's like, yeah.
It still hurts.
Oh, I'm sorry. She says, so it stopped hurting? He goes, nope. Oh,
Oh. Gross.
well, you're weird.
Yeah. Well, he's like, well, otherwise, what'll happen before will happen again. You know, where I scream my fucking head off.
Yeah.
And blood will shoot out of 6 holes in my body.
And he never knew that, like, he says, like, I
did
never
not.
knew that these were part of me.
Yeah.
I didn't remember back that far, so
Yeah,
they're
they,
bone.
They have to explain like
must
why
have
he
been born with
doesn't know about the bone claws.
They never established the bone claws before.
I know. That's why I said they have.
And
to,
he
like,
has no origin yet, so like we don't
right,
know.
He's got to address it in these panels. He's got
Yeah.
to like, what? It's so weird. Like, where did they come from?
That is Wolverine's bread and butter. Is something from my past just showed up. It's so weird. What is that? Where does it come from? Let's explore this.
Why did the writers add that?
Yeah.
We
Sometimes they're implants, like memory implants, by the way.
We also have
Sometimes
a
it's
fun moment where, like, he's getting Jubilee. Rogue. Even Rogue can't be out of there.
No.
No, Rogue can't help.
Can I help support you emotionally if I can't do that physically?
No! Jubilee has to be the one!
Can we get Gambit in here? Maybe he can help.
Oh yeah.
Get the fuck out of here, Gambit.
Gambit, can you grab my control stick?
So,
sorry, moving on.
About the bone claws, by the way, he says they're like pierced ears, and that to me that was like that's a really good.
Yeah, he's like,
comparison. I can visualize it now.
right.
Well, I gotta keep
Why
the
you
channel
don't
open.
bleed every time.
Right.
Yeah, I thought that was nice.
Yeah.
But also, like, his healing factor should be helping. It's not.
It kind of does,
Well, he,
but
like
like,
it's
it's getting better.
It's healed into channels.
as opposed
That's
to like...
gross.
Well,
Well,
does the
yeah!
healing factor mean he can't have pierced ears? I don't really know.
I don't know either. I don't think so.
That would be fine.
I don't think so.
Like, it
Because he has
pierces it and just goes.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. Because that's a wound.
Well, just
you have
grow
to
around
keep
it.
piercing.
Yeah, if you leave the thing
Oh.
in, it like
Yes.
seals up like around the.
That's fair. Although I would imagine like
So he
maybe
would
his
ha-
body would be like...
Yeah, like it does with bullets.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah,
breaks
bullets.
the hook.
Yeah,
in
no.
pieces.
Like, look, the adamantium is bonded to you. The earring is not.
Can you
Yeah.
have a tattoo?
No.
Okay.
But he could also, yeah, if he had an adamantium earring, that would be something.
No, it would have to be like grafted onto his skull. Like it would have to be attached somewhere and then like come out through his lobe and go
Right, that'd be a
around.
part of him.
He could talk to Magneto for that.
Right.
Look, now that you've gotten all the adamantium out of me,
Can you get me some...
you can put some back.
I want a rad earring.
I mean,
You understand? It's the '90s. I gotta be awesome.
Yeah.
the reality is they need him to not bleed every time that his claws come out. So
Look.
his healing factor doesn't work that
Red
much.
ink is really expensive. That's all I gotta say.
Well, it's just really gross.
It's really gross and graphic, and they need to be careful about the censors.
Yeah.
So,
So Jubilee lights a cigar for him because he's known for having a cigar, and this is the first time he starts coughing. And he's like,
Yeah.
time I quit these nasty things. They're like, but you love cigars.
No,
Yeah.
the censors don't want me to.
no,
To
I
smoke
mean,
them
he
anymore.
he smokes them all the way up until Joe Quesada takes over. So like
Oh.
but I do like that idea that like the healing factor's lessened a little bit. And he's like, oh, they're gross, and this is hurting
It's
me.
damaging my lungs
Yeah.
now.
I used to do it
tasting
because
it.
I was a friggin' immortal.
Now it just burns.
Yeah, exactly.
Why do people do this?
It's horrible.
I did it just to look cool.
Yeah, damn right. And he does. Like, I mean, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but,
no,
like,
he does.
It looks
Scars look
cool.
And we also get some really sweet moments where he's saying goodbye to people like in the night, like a thief.
Yeah.
He leaves.
Oh,
right.
Which it's his only way. He's like, I'm not emotionally strong enough for this.
Yeah, I like that.
I gotta find myself.
It's frustrating the script, like the lettering.
Oh, it's really hard to read.
It's hard to
Real
read.
hard to read.
I do like the idea, and they've carried us over before that Wolverine has incredible penmanship because he's old.
Yeah, because he's from the 1800s.
Yeah, and he's been writing like freehand until computers, so like he's had like a couple hundred years to like get ready.
That's
like,
awesome.
And I really like that idea. Unfortunately, it's almost indecipherable.
Well, the letterer in this I didn't think was very good.
No.
Yeah, it's too small too when the ink is too thick, so like the letters are not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
poor
supposed to be
font
like a
choice
script.
and just not.
Yeah.
in cursive, it's real hard.
But I did get through it, and it's nice. The sentiment is there.
Yeah, it's very nice.
there.
It's very melodramatic.
Oh yeah,
You're reading an X-Men book.
Is Jubilee holding a little Nightcrawler doll?
Yes,
that's cute.
it was Ileana's.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm sad.
Now it's a Banff.
When she got put into like this horrible Shi'ar like experimental technology that professors didn't understand to keep her like comatose but not dead, she dropped it, and Jubilee puts it back into her arms when she dies.
Oh.
So
And
Jubilee
then
keeps it.
after she is,
Comes back to life. I guess she gets it.
well, she was like, oh well, if you're not using it for a while.
yeah.
Yeah, because she's not back yet, right? Because
No.
they're so sad.
No,
about
she
her
was just a
dying.
ghost.
So she just. Well, just gonna take that.
It's just a ghost, bro.
It's just a ghost, bro.
Shut up. So he leaves letters for everyone on the table downstairs, but he leaves Jubilee's in her room
Yeah.
because he has to like do that and be like say goodbye to her in his own
Well,
room.
that way she can find it first and
And wake up and then watch him leave.
scream and.
Well, then she knows that he was in her room.
She
while
watches him
was
leave.
sleeping.
She gets up immediately
Yeah.
after. She reads it with us in
And
real
she can
time.
visualize
amazing
him
thing
like
is-
creeping on her room while she's asleep.
He hasn't even started the motorcycle yet, and she's at the door, but
Yeah,
she's
she's
wearing
like-
his hat,
Yeah.
which is really sweet,
Yeah.
and his flannel, I guess.
Yep.
And she's sad.
Yeah, she was sad. She was sad.
Anyway, and like they have a moment where like she's at the window and she waves and he waves back,
Yeah.
and then he just like he rides off in the night like a badass.
Yeah.
Going.
No,
his own
knows
adventures.
where.
But apparently just into the woods.
Yeah.
Because it's
roads.
just dirt and there's no road. It's just like I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
That's the best
Tree.
place to ride a motorcycle,
Yeah, go cross
obviously.
country,
At
yeah.
night.
Right?
And it's not a dirt bike.
Oh
He's
yeah.
like, I've been
Especially
doing
with-
this for too long. If I crash, I'm
You just
sorry.
like-
Especially with no healing factor, you definitely want to
Yeah.
try that out.
and no helmet.
Yep.
Yeah, just ride.
He should be the safest guy now and be like,
Oh!
oh,
He just wears all this armor.
Juggernaut. Who's your supplier? I need that shard.
Yeah. So Tiffany, tell us more about Spider-Man number 26.
Okay. So first of all, the cover is the hologram is larger than on the other one.
Yes.
It's not really a card as much as it's kind of just part of the cover
Yeah.
itself, which is kind of fun because there's no chance you could accidentally peel it off or try to. You're just like, that's on here.
Mm-hmm.
Am I supposed to? Okay. But it's Spider-Man web swinging upside down.
Yep.
And it's embedded on a horrible green
background. Yeah, and I think that when we were talking about this, there are different colors that dictate the different 30th anniversary specials.
Yes, Amazing Spider-Man turned 30 years old, and since there were 4 Spider-Man titles at the time, even though only Amazing Spider-Man turned 30, they all celebrated the 30th anniversary. So Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man, What If Spider-Man all got 30th anniversary holographic covers, and each of them has a different, like, same exact web pattern, but different color scheme.
Yes.
Okay.
Spider-Man got green, I believe Amazing Spider-Man got blue.
Right, and I agree the green is kind of horrible.
And there's, I assume, a red and a yellow?
There's a red and, I don't remember what the other one was.
So
I think it's black.
I was going to say
And I
it should
think
be
actually
black.
Amazing Spider-Man might be black. I don't recall.
Okay.
Oh, well, that would be great because there you got the black costume, you got the red
Yeah,
and
there's
the blue,
it's, no, the
and
Amazing
then
Spider-Man
there's
one's
the green
lizard.
for the Green Goblin.
Yeah, no, the lizard's green in the Amazing one. It's really bad.
What I really honestly love about this cover is that so worried were they that the image wouldn't be enough that they had to put this box down here trying to entice you to purchase this book.
Yes, all of them had
Even
these.
though it's a 30th anniversary, they're like, look, inside you're going to find this, and that, and this, and that.
Well, because it's a 30th anniversary special, even though it's a regular issue of Spider-Man.
Right.
Like, you're going to get all this stuff.
But I can see that.
Step
Yeah.
on up, folks,
Yeah.
and I'll tell you what you're going to get in here.
Exactly.
That's because you're going to spend $3.50 as opposed to $1.
Yeah, no.
Well,
Yeah,
Also,
you're
like-
spending that for the sweet hologram.
Well, you also get a lot of other stuff. You get some backups, you get a poster.
Yeah.
All of them came with posters, by the way.
Usually the cover gives you the opportunity to write all that stuff in fun fonts and stuff, but with this they can't, so they just gotta put it in this little box.
Yeah, it's a little info box.
Yeah. Like featuring so and so and also this happens.
Yeah.
It's like a variety show.
Like,
So,
wait, we're going to go with small holograms for the other one? Let's make Spider-Man huge.
Yeah.
So there
This-
wasn't room.
story is like, let's say that you have not been reading Spider-Man and you've never heard of him.
Yeah, that's exactly what this is. It's
Well, then this
freaking
is the book
frustrating.
for you, everybody.
Yeah.
Whether it be the main story or the backup, this story is for the person who's never read a Spider-Man book in their lives.
Yeah, they do that sometimes. It's called an info dump book, or at
Right?
least that's what I call it. Occasionally, like Web of Spider-Man had an annual, I think annual number 3. It's literally just, here are some bad guys that Spider-Man
Yeah.
has fought before. It's just a list of all of them.
Right?
That certainly is a dump.
This
Well, I mean,
isn't-
like, what about when YouTube channels make a top 5 list instead of like an actual video where they talk about comic books?
I think probably my favorite part of this is when on the front it says like a great new villain. I'm like,
What a self-effacing joke that is.
Who is that referring to?
I
in this
assume
book?
it's Stuart Small.
You think? Or is it like Maxwell?
I don't know.
It's Stewart.
I can't tell.
The joke is about yeah, no,
Oh,
it's
it's-
Stewart.
No,
Stewart
it
is the
can't be
great
that.
villain.
It's got to be the guy who stole the purse.
Oh yeah.
No.
What?
So
Well, that is Spider-Man's true villain. The offspring of... We'll get to it.
Well, yeah.
this book literally just starts off with this like chubby man running down the street with like a Nintendo controller, like giant Nintendo controller strapped to his body.
I thought that's what it was.
It looks like
Yeah,
it,
that's
it,
exactly
it
what
looks like one of those old like ones with the joystick where you
Yeah.
just play a fighting game on it.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. It's on his body, and
Yep.
he's running down the street, and there's like a
He's
big
playing with
yellow
like,
force
oh,
field,
my nipples.
and like it's pushing people out of the way, and like he's an unstoppable force essentially. And then there's like another scruffy-looking guy who's apparently his brother, but looks nothing like him, chasing him, and he's just like, "Yo, you gotta stop! You're causing a big scene, and like Maximilian whatever is gonna get us because
Yep.
we stole stuff from him." So they are
They're
thieves.
two brothers.
They're two
They're
brothers.
just two brothers.
Just
Two brothers.
who are thieves who stole from another guy who's
Who works
a villain
for-
who works for a different villain.
Like a
who-
computer
Maybe
lady.
that's the villain.
I don't know.
Ms.
I don't
Brain.
know. I will tell you this: I have every issue of this series, and she's never shown.
Well, there you go. So this
Awesome.
whole thing going on interrupts the like quiet date that Peter Parker and Mary Jane are having, where they're just walking around and she's being sassy and telling him that she brought like new lingerie and how she'd like to show it to him later on, and he's like, "But I gotta go."
First he goes, "Let's go home then,"
Yeah.
and then he hears commotion, and
It's
he
like,
immediately.
wait, what's that over there?
That's-
Look at the same breath.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
every Spider-Man story. Is Mary Jane being like, "We should totally fuck," and then he's like, "That sounds. I gotta go."
Yeah. So
They won't let us show that.
extrapolate
Well,
what
they
you
could
will
get-
from that situation
Yes.
for Peter Parker.
Right.
She should just know that, like, if you're having a nice time with your husband, don't say, like, this was a really nice time, because then you've just doomed.
That's
Narratively
really,
interrupted.
really what it is. Is Mary Jane's like, man, I could use some me time.
Yeah.
I'm having a really great time, Peter. We should go home and have sex.
He's like, okay, that sounds. Oh, I gotta be Spider-Man.
Oh no!
Oh, Kathy. Yeah, it's me. Let's go.
I'm in.
I'm in. The Looney Tunes.
So the big issue that has occurred from this whole Stuart Small and his like ridiculous bubble thing that he can't control right now is that like he ends up in the middle of the street and there's like a messenger person who's on a motorcycle who's going so fast he can't stop or swerve out of the way because it's a two-dimensional space apparently.
Yep.
And so Stuart Small like crouches down and it launches the motorcycle and the rider into the air, and so like Peter Parker's like, okay, so I gotta save the motorcyclist and I gotta stop the motorcycle from falling on people and I gotta save that guy, but okay, so I'll do one of those two first things, but I'll do both of them because I'm awesome. So he utilizes like two street lamps and like ricochets himself up so he can catch them.
Comes
Yeah.
up like with the most complicated, like time-consuming
Exactly.
plan.
But, like-
Unfortunately, there's no gravity because it takes like 10 minutes for this goddamn.
No, it's still happening.
It was going very fast.
He was
and
going
also
about
very high.
300 miles an
He's like
hour.
saying
Very-
entire sentences while the motorcycle
He
is.
thinks
It's implied that
it's
it's
bad.
It's implied that he's thinking them, and you think faster than you talk. So
So
Well, and you know, the author was clearly like, I hate freaking people on motorcycles. They're always zipping by, they're going like a million miles an hour.
yeah. So while he is doing this, he's preparing
Well, he's
himself.
stretching.
He's stretching, but he's also like he launches himself up and then he comes back down, and then
Yes, to get like extra stretch.
And like during that period, there's like a dude who's like hates his life and like he's just down on his luck and he doesn't have a job, and like we find out that he has an uncle that like was a criminal
Yeah.
and like you know he's just like, do I follow that path? I shouldn't follow that path, and
He's
like
a scum.
he hears something going on. He's like, what's going on? I should go find out. And there's like an old woman who has like her purse there, and he's just like, I will do the cliche thing and I will steal her purse.
It would be so easy. I could just take it right
And
now.
he does, and he just takes it. And as he
And this candy from this baby.
right, and then he like kicks up like a box full of kittens into his
and Spider-Man's like, how am I gonna stop all this?
I gotta save those kittens. The person.
Uncle Ben.
So as Spider-Man's coming down for his final, I'm gonna finally stop the thing I came to do, the purse snatcher is running and like they like lock eyes, which
Yep.
would seemingly be impossible.
Yeah. Well, no, he's stuck to the ground.
Yeah, he's
Like he lands and he
Oh.
uses
On the ground. It's
his
real
adhesive powers to stick to the
weird.
floor.
All right.
And also,
Yeah.
like, he has 8 eyes, like a spider would, so he can see him real fast.
No, he just turns his head.
He
real
just turns his
quick.
head. He's
So
right,
he
look right
looks,
there.
and
He's
they,
like,
He
like-
hears
what?
someone say, "Stop, thief."
yeah, and he
Yeah.
looks and he sees the guy with the purse.
Yep.
And then he like launches himself up and catches the motorcyclist and whips the motorcycle and he saves the motorcyclist and he stops the motorcycle from falling down. He's
Yep.
just like, all right, I did it all.
I like that moment,
Yeah.
by the way, when he catches it, because he just says, "Yahoo! I saved everybody!"
Yeah.
Because it's just this moment where he's just like, "Ah!" Like, he tried to do all these things, and he accomplished them,
Yeah.
and nobody,
It's
like,
shocking.
broke their neck falling off a bridge. So he's like,
Exactly.
"Yeah!" Like, he actually celebrates the way, like, someone might.
Yeah, it's
as
like, oh my god, I
as
did
opposed to
it.
Superman
yeah.
being like, "Of course I did." Haha.
No,
Right.
he's
Well,
just
that's
having a
what
good
always happens.
time.
Yeah.
And like, so we meet up with the brothers who like Stuart
Brothers.
finally figured out how to turn off the thing.
Yes.
And he's just like, all right. And so his older brother goes to like get a car and uses a trash can to get into it, which is just like, hey, if you're trying to be discreet,
Don't use a full trash can
good plan.
to smash
No.
a window.
This is my key.
Meanwhile, Oscar the Grouch is in there and he's all like, scram!
Yay.
But the guys they were trying to escape, Maxwell, shows up and he wants his thing back.
Yeah, the force
Force
field.
field generator. I
He
guess?
wants it back because his boss is like, we need that to do our nefarious plan.
Yes.
Yeah, these guys are like exposing it and everything.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
They're making
Screwing
a mess.
things
Our
up.
clients are not going to like all this exposure.
Oh.
Well, it's like a
Technology.
prototype. Like, we're going to sell that.
Yeah.
But so like the small brothers make a getaway in the car. Like literally, Maxwell is the worst guy ever.
He sucks.
He cannot
So
do
bad.
anything. Like literally, like they're right there.
Yep.
Yeah,
He
he's
could
got
just
him.
shoot him
Yeah.
Yeah.
and get the thing back.
Mhm.
Nah, he just lets him leave. And then
Whoa, whoa, whoa. We're not barbarians. We're not just going to shoot him in the street.
Let's see where this goes.
yeah.
I'm
Oh,
gonna get him later. I'm going to give him a stern
They're
talk.
going to take him to an alley.
Yeah.
they're in an alley.
I got to take him.
No,
to
No,
another
that's later
alley.
on.
Oh,
Like,
that's
you're thinking later
that's
on.
right.
Oh yeah.
So then we get back with Peter and MJ, and like he's looking at his costume, and like him trying to stop the motorcycle really like wore out his pants.
Yeah.
She's gonna fix him in the morning, and like she's
Yeah, there's
in
a big
her
brown stain.
lingerie.
Yes.
And like then we get the origin story
That happens in every other Spider-Man issue.
Where like she's like, what was that again?
He's like, well...
But she doesn't even ask. Like,
No.
He just launches into
He always does that.
No, she
says, tell me all about it.
Oh, yeah. Well, about what's bothering you.
And then
I
while
guess.
he's just yammering on, she goes to make a sandwich. She's like, that'll keep him occupied
Yeah.
for
He
30
just stares
minutes.
off into space and she walks
Exactly.
away.
Kathy, did you want to go clubbing afterwards?
So
No,
we,
Kathy, I'm good.
so we get the origin story where we like.
It's an annual, basically. It's a fake annual. So, like, hey, it's someone's first comic book. They got lured in by the hologram, so we're gonna get... By the way, if this is your first Spider-Man comic, here's his origin.
Yeah, here's
and
what
also it's
happened.
shades of the burglar.
By
Yeah.
the way, his history was all blue.
Well, yeah.
What's a flashback?
So you know
Right,
it's a
and, like,
flashback?
Yeah.
He is struggling with that because, like, even though he saved all those people, it's not enough because he let the purse snatcher get
Yes.
away, and he's just like, ah.
Yeah, which is weird because, like, what about the guy? The force field guy? You let him get away too.
Right.
And he's, like, way more of a
Yeah,
problem
but
than
a
the...
force field guy didn't kill my uncle.
That's right. A purse snatcher killed his uncle.
Yeah, I guess. Also, I didn't look right in the face
Well,
of
also,
the
like,
force field guy.
There was a voice that said "Stop thief." It's the same. It echoes the same. It's like
Right.
poetry. It rhymes.
Yeah, except that, like, it's really just an excuse. Like, the purse snatcher's in this book as an excuse to make sure that we can tell the origin story.
Yes.
So,
And
Also,
also,
a little lesson.
yeah, Spider-Man goes through a little
Oh, yeah.
maturation
A little journey.
period. Yeah.
Well, he also says to himself, he's like, look, I understand that I can't
Yeah,
stop all the crime.
I'm not insane. I know I cannot stop everybody.
But
So-
it doesn't make me not want to.
Right. I feel. Yeah. I
so
am still obsessive.
Then, Peter's just like, he's just having a moment, and she's just, and Mary Jane's like, hey, your responsibility isn't just to everybody else, it's to yourself and to me. Like, chill out.
Yeah,
Remember
up.
me?
Right?
See
And the lingerie?
Right? And he has this moment where he's like, I'm obsessed. Like, he's just really like,
Yeah, and she's
Yeah.
like,
Whatever. Well,
okay.
all right, well,
I'm gonna
I
change. I'm
put
gonna change into
this on for
sweatpants.
no one. So, cool.
Because this thing is definitely not comfortable.
No.
No.
So we run into the purse snatcher who's having, like, he still has the purse, he hasn't done anything with it,
No.
he hasn't taken the money, he's just carrying it around and feeling guilty, and he's just like, Spider-Man's gonna get me any minute!
I like that idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we'll come back to him later, because we just check in with him sometimes.
Just once in a while.
Just,
Yeah,
you know,
see what's going on.
Let's
with
meet
the
his
person.
family and like his girlfriend or his ex-girlfriend.
So,
Let's go home
you know,
with her
whatever.
and see who she like ended up with, and maybe see his old like childhood cat.
So Bill and Stuart Small are, like,
Learning
hiding out, and, like,
Yeah.
Stuart's like, alright, I figured this whole thing out, I totally got it. So,
Stuart's
like,
an asshole, by the way.
he seems like
Such a moron.
Yep.
Like
Yes.
we first meet him. He's trucking through the streets, screaming his head off
He
like
can't
an
figure
idiot.
out how to turn the thing off, so he's running at top speed
Yeah.
for no reason.
And then he figures out the most basic of controls. He's like, I think we got this thing ready to go. And it's like,
By the way,
Exactly.
Stuart, you're the worst.
you're in a force field. Why were you running away from
Just
anyone?
Stand still for like a second.
Yeah.
What's wrong
No,
with you?
he's just not good. So they're gonna go test it out. They're gonna take it for a spin.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, we find out that Maxwell's only way of finding out where this thing is if he has it on.
yes,
and
that's
they
how the
turned it
tracker
off.
works.
But they had it on before that, so I don't know how they don't have some kind of location.
Yeah.
I guess they had to get like close enough
Well, they know he
for it
didn't.
to really zero in on
no,
it.
they just
Well,
didn't.
it's
They
he
just
says,
know
like,
he's in the area.
he says, "Blast! I lost them again."
Yeah.
Though indicating like I have a point where they might be. Should we go check it out?
no.
We're going to drive
I mean,
that way.
If they were running around, I guess it would make sense, but they're
But they
in
weren't.
one spot, so he should be able to see like.
Well, they
Well,
stopped.
last time we had them, they were here, so let's just go there.
Right.
No.
No, I gotta wait for them to turn
No.
it back
Maybe
on.
it's not a map. Maybe it's more like a radar thing. Like, just
Maybe
gives me a
just, like,
compass direction.
Yeah, maybe just beeps louder
Maybe
when
it's-
you're closer.
Maybe that every Spider-Man villain in this book is just totally and grossly incompetent.
There you go.
Well, that's.
But at least this guy has a plan. He's like, look, we have a thing to track it.
Yes.
Yeah. So Peter decides he's gonna go out and
Clear
collect
his
some more
head.
crime, essentially. And he puts on his
Web-
costume again.
web around the city.
And
yeah.
that was the costume that's like
That
falling
needed to be
apart.
fixed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
any
Getting
minute I
pretty
was
fixed.
She
expecting.
fixed it. He says. No, he doesn't.
No,
No,
she
she
says
was-
I'll
she
fix
was
it
gonna
in the
fix it in the
morning
morning.
Right.
because they were gonna have sex.
Right.
Yeah.
But in the meantime,
maybe they
I gotta
did.
clear my head.
No,
No.
she's planning on having sex later.
Yeah, she's just like because
Oh.
then you're gonna come
All
back
right,
and then we're
fine.
gonna do it.
That's right.
Get-
She hatches a plan of her own.
Go on web swing.
Yeah.
But when we come back,
Sex time.
So Bill and Stuart's big plan is right now to test it is they're gonna rob a grocery store.
Yeah. Like I said, they're the most incompetent.
Yeah.
a closed grocery
They're
store.
gonna do a thing they
They-
could have done without the force.
And that no one would ever do.
Right?
Well, I need eggs and milk
And money.
and flour.
Hey, look at that sweet Ron Lim poster of Spider-Man teaming up with two characters he would never team up with during this period.
Right? And who aren't in this book.
And you don't, no.
So Spider-Man, of course, shows up, and he's realizing that he's a problem because he's got the force field, and he's just like, "I'll figure it out. I'll just kind of destroy the supermarket first.
Yep.
And that's about the time that Maxwell's goons show up, but like not all of them,
No, just some of them.
just some of
But
them.
a lot of them.
Like it's like a mini SWAT team shows
It's
up.
like 5
essentially.
guys or something.
Yeah.
It's quite a few.
It's quite a few guys, and they all fire into the store, and Spider-Man gets out
They
of the
shoot
way.
right into the force field that they know he has.
Yeah.
What are you
Sure
doing?
do.
What? At some point, he's
One
gonna
will
turn
get
it off,
through,
maybe.
yeah.
Right? So now the goons are like fighting Spider-Man and the guy with the force field, and
Yeah.
like, that's why.
Yeah.
Because Spider-Man's like, well, I gotta go for the guys with the guns
Yes.
first. Because he knows, like, this guy.
This guy's
the force
not-
field, like, sucks. He's like, I
He
don't,
beats
even,
him.
I don't even need to stop him.
Right.
I've never forgotten how he defeats him.
No, it's amazing, honestly.
because I've never seen it done like that before
It's
in my life.
pretty brilliant.
And
That's
it's
actually the
my favorite
best
thing.
moment of this book.
Yeah.
So while this fight's breaking out and like you got all this action going on and like he's literally the goons have given up on shooting the guy with the force field and they're just focused on Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because he's the most actual apparent threat.
Well, he's
I-
gonna beat the shit out of him.
I think it's more like they're like, okay, our guns are useless against the guy with the force
Yeah,
field.
right.
Maybe we can get
Let's,
Spider-Man.
and one of them says, like, let's all dogpile on Spider-Man. Like, you can't beat us if we all jump on him at the same time.
But he can.
and
Yeah,
then
no
he
one
immediately
thought of
does.
that before.
I'm sorry.
Right.
Did you think this was football?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then like the two of them just leave.
Yeah.
Like Stewart and Bill just walk
Well, just
away. They don't run.
They're the smartest people in the entire book now.
They just leave,
Yeah.
and we check in with our purse snatcher, who's like looks like he's gonna ask for some more in,
Yeah.
in like a Dickinson novel. But he's really just like, I don't like. What am I gonna do? It's like his big turning point is in these two panels.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Shoehorned
we just
into
leave
another
that.
fight.
There's no time for that. So then
Forget
Spider-Man's
about
like,
that.
I gotta
We're gonna
go
get back to
get
this
those
fight.
two dudes.
Oh.
Yep.
So he catches up to them, and like the guy's got the force field, and now he can like shoot things.
He can basically, he bends the force.
Yeah,
He can
he's,
project
like-
Yeah, he can
Yeah.
push it out
He's
from
doing
him.
that now. He
Yeah.
figured that out too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So then, like,
It's a pretty powerful weapon.
Yeah.
right. So like,
I think because mostly it's unstable. Like, I think it
It's
should
like
do
it's
all
like
these
doing
things.
like if you could see it moving, it would be like
Yeah, it would be really
shaking.
scary.
so Spidey's like playing like him essentially, and he's just like, yeah, I'm never gonna give up. I'm never gonna stop fighting. So Stewart's like, I got this. Here, check out what I'm gonna do. He's just like, you know, it's fine. Like, come on over here. The fight's over. We're all done. It's cool. Don't worry about it, right? And like his brother's like, what are you doing? He's like, there's nothing he can do. Okay,
I got the force field.
I'm awesome. And so, like, he tells Spidey to take his best shot. He's not going to fight back now. So Spidey, of course, like, is just like, I got plenty of web fluid, and he just webs up the force field, right? So it's just webbing all around in this, like, bubble, essentially. And he's just like, ha, you're so dumb. It's just all my force field. All I have to do is turn it off.
Yep.
And he does, and all the webbing falls down, and Spidey's behind him. Having,
Already defeated his brother.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like holding
by
his brother's
putting
mouth
his-
shut so
yeah.
he can't hear him.
and then
yeah.
he just clicks him
Yeah.
and knocks him out.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
he has the proportionate strength of the spider. Like,
Yeah,
Exactly.
he's
But
just
also,
a
that
regular
guy's a
guy.
nerd.
Yeah.
Stink.
So he gets the machine off of him, and he like is just like, I'm gonna turn you into the police, and they're like, if you do that, Maxwell's gonna get us.
Yeah.
Because like
He owns the police or something.
Yeah, they're gonna kill us, and like, shouldn't you be worried about that? You should just let us go. And he's just like, you'll be fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
So the police van shows up. He puts them there. He notices like a little spider sense going off, but like puts them in the van, and guess who's in the van?
It's Maxwell.
It's Maxwell.
Maxwell.
And like at the same time, he's like, I don't want to kill you when you're under like arrest. But
Yeah.
you're not really under arrest. So
Right.
now I'm gonna take you to an alley, and I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it's like it's expensive to kill someone in jail because you have to like pay someone off. So
Yeah.
I'm
Which
just
is,
gonna
like,
stop you
true,
from
good
going to
point.
jail.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta get in there.
Right? So,
Yeah,
like,
or
their
someone
plan is
does.
to take them into an alley and not just shoot them in the van. And when they open the van up, the real police are there. Because Spider-Man knew what was going on.
It's fine to kill someone in an alley. You kill someone in a van, you gotta clean the van after.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This is a
There's
good
DNA
van.
everywhere.
This is my van.
No, you-
Maxwell's like, this is my personal van.
You set that van on fire.
Yeah, no,
right.
this is my van. I'm taking the kids camping in this van next week.
That's weird.
A very Pulp Fiction.
Maxwell, you seem like you can afford a new van. No, I am this rich because I am frugal.
Yeah,
Right?
because I don't throw every van I get away.
So at the end of the day, Spider-Man stops the Smalls, gets the machine back. It doesn't fall back into Maxwell's hands. He gets Maxwell. The only thing he didn't get was Miss Brain.
Or laid.
And what about the purse snatcher? Oh, he also got the story too, because he used his camera to take pictures.
We didn't see that, but he got that.
But he's
We
gonna
talked about it.
sell
Yeah.
pictures to the Bugle.
Yep.
But then what about the purse snatcher? Well, the purse snatcher finds Spider-Man and tosses him the purse.
Yep.
And says like, I really messed up, and I just want you to have this back, and it's fine. You can arrest me. Like I don't want to go down this path and all that stuff. And like Spider-Man's like, huh.
And then Spider-Man's heart grows 3 sizes.
Right? And like he mentions that he had an uncle who like made the same stupid mistakes, and like how that like, you know, got him like killed essentially, or like
Yeah.
arrested or whatever.
He did die, but yes.
Yeah, and that he kind of indicates that.
It's
like,
the burglar. It's the burglar.
Yeah, it's
kills
the
Uncle Ben.
burglar. Yeah, whatever.
But like he even says like you may have run into him once or twice.
yeah.
Just
Techni-
once. Well,
Well,
twice.
technically twice.
Yeah, the first time when you killed my uncle, and the second time when I killed you.
Yeah, so then, like, Spider-Man lets him go, and he asks, like, who his uncle was, and, like, that's when he says the whole thing about, like, you might have run into him, it doesn't matter. He's a loser, and he didn't accomplish anything, he was a burglar.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
How was
what...
your uncle? How was your uncle?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take it out of your hide.
The uncle dies, or
Yeah.
the burglar. Spider-Man gets his revenge on the burglar,
Yeah.
more or less. It's not really revenge. He has a heart attack.
Yeah.
I just like that's like a burglar. Well, burglar killed my uncle. They must be the same
Well,
burglar.
the other thing is the burglars.
There's only like 2 burglars.
In Amazing
They
Fantasy
look
15,
similar.
the burglar wore the exact same clothes as the kid.
Yeah.
They wore the exact same outfit.
Yeah.
And
including
most
the-
people wear clothes identical to their uncle.
Well, it's only when they're committing crimes.
Well, only when I'm trying to make a really on-the-nose point.
Right?
Yes.
So then, like, Spider-Man realizes that, like, he, like, let him go because, like, things came full circle, and, like, he's giving him a second chance, which is something he never got because he never got to save Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
He's just like, this is the right thing to do. And he lets him go, and he's just like, I'm the Amazing Spider-Man, and, like, I'm here forever. And then the sun
And
comes
the sun
up.
comes up, meaning he definitely did not bang Mary
No.
Jane.
Now I'm gonna go home and sleep with my wife.
She is dead asleep.
She's like, no, you're not.
Yeah. She's like, hey, wake up. Let's totally bang. She's like, I have had 4 hours of sleep. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's not happening.
That's not happening. That ship has sailed.
Right? So then the backup is literally the rest of the, let's say you wanted to know more about Spider-Man. It's Mary Jane attacking him with a pillow, and his spider sense goes off, and he, like, flips her across the room.
Yep.
Nah, he flips
He
herself.
flips
She
himself.
falls down on the floor. And then, like, she's too, like, awake now to go back to sleep, so he's gonna make her some tea, which is probably caffeinated, so, you know,
Could be decaf.
maybe.
Could be herbal. You don't know.
It's a nice chamomile.
But
Yeah.
then, like, literally, he just goes through all of his powers.
Yes, we get a rundown of Spider-Man's powers.
He's
Literally.
like, how do your powers? Why would you attack me? I'm not a threat.
Right, and he's like, because my
"That's not
Spider-Man doesn't
how it
work that
works."
way. Yeah,
Yep.
the sense doesn't work that way.
And then, at the end, after they go through all their powers and, like, why he can, like, hang out with, like, Adam Warlock and Wolverine and Mr. Fantastic, and, like, fight them,
Yeah, well, it's how he can, like,
and a cosmic being like the Silver Surfer.
yeah.
It explains how he can
Yeah.
do
Hold
anything
his
with
own.
them. And then, like, she attacks him again as the Tickle Monster.
Yeah.
And he sees it coming, but
Yeah,
he
but he
lets
lets
it
it
happen.
happen.
Yeah.
It's cute.
That was the biggest FU in my mind, where I was just like, hey, these are all the reasons why I can't lose.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I'm so great. Buy my books.
Yep, and there you go.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
Spider-Man number 26
Thank
or
you very
whatever
much.
it is.
I
Yep,
can never be
26.
caught off guard.
Nope.
Yeah.
He
And
often
I always know when there's danger.
He always does.
Well, it's
So-
like why he's not dead yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
So
he really should be.
because he's fought Thanos and he still isn't dead. So the question here is, which one's the good, the bad, and the ugly? Before we do that, who has the best holographic gimmick? I say Wolverine 75.
I agree with Wolverine.
I think it has the best looking hologram, and I think it overall they all kind of seem out of place. This is an afterthought. Robin 2's hologram is literally a sticker on a cover.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 26. Some effort went into it, but they also did it for 4 other covers, so who gives a crap?
Well, they did it, and it's him upside down, which is an awesome pose, but there's very little in the background. There's
Yeah.
not a whole lot of detail.
No, it doesn't
although his
really-
costume looks great.
It does. It's a solid looking image, but the Wolverine 75 cover, number one, it works without the hologram, but the hologram does enhance it, and the cover is just dope. It's a wraparound cover.
Yep.
Yeah, but the hologram is much better on it. It's detailed.
Yes.
There's actual, like, he looks fantastic in it.
He does. He looks three-dimensional. We like it a lot.
Are these Batman's abs?
Yeah, they're abs.
No, those are his balls. That's why they're so low.
Yeah, the Wolverine hologram is by far the best.
Yeah, I agree.
It's-
The Wolverine hologram is the
It's
best.
kind of epic, actually. I didn't really pay much attention to it before, but like, it's got like the sparkles on the claws that move.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, look at that.
His
That-
head moves back and forth. Like,
Yeah.
when you turn him, he's looking different ways.
He's
which is
got like
awesome.
a cool setting.
When was this one done?
This one was done in 1991, I
And
believe.
when was the Spider-Man one done?
1990. This is 93.
Oh,
I think that one's also like 93. And this one was 90.
that's 91.
No, it's
92.
93.
No, this one.
That
Oh,
one's
this one-
92.
I was
that
going to
one
say
goes here.
Yes.
This one.
Yeah, this one's 91.
Their holographic cover technology was not as advanced
No,
at that point.
no, this feels like they learned from.
Yeah,
From that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
it's very nice. And you're right. This is the best regular cover too.
Yeah,
This
easily.
wins in
It's a
every
wraparound
every
cover.
respect. It's destroys on the cover front.
It's true, because this is like, okay, so it tells a complete story here, but then when you wrap it around, you're like, oh, cool, there's more. Like, it doesn't really...
You don't need it.
You don't need it, but it's cool. It's way better than a Charleston
arms are
shoe
coming
ad.
out of their hips.
But what you're missing is Scott laughing his ass off at Wolverine.
Yeah.
That's like the best reaction.
Ah!
Go!
Oh,
Jesus.
No.
What even is that?
Wait a minute! Why is he have adamantium claws shooting out of his arms?
I'm guessing it's...
Well, because it's in the dreamscape.
I guess.
In the dreamscape, you still got the...
See, I thought... Yeah.
How would you know it's Wolverine? This might just be a demon.
Right, it does look like one. So, all right. So Wolverine wins the best hologram. Which one's the worst? I think obviously the oldest one, Robin 2.
Robin 2, because it's a sticker. It's not. It's barely a
Straight up
hologram.
There's nothing happening. This one at least has, like,
this
movement
is
and-
barely
background.
any depth.
Yeah.
No.
So-
Now,
it's
if
just,
you're
like,
talking about the
colorful.
cover,
Yeah.
I think it's also about Robin 2, because Batman's not in it.
Yeah.
Also, that's a terrible Batman.
That's a real...
That's an interpretation of a depiction of Batman. There's nothing you can do about it.
That's also apparently a fever dream.
Yeah.
Yes.
Here's the thing, though. Without the hologram, this cover is garbage.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but they would
No.
never do it without that.
It's
true.
right.
That's
They would
true.
never just show you a pattern and be
Yeah,
like,
in
done.
totality, this is the second best.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah. By default, I think.
Yeah.
So, which one is the good? Which one's the best issue?
I am going to say Robin 2. Not because I really liked what happened, but because I thought it was the most competently written by far.
Mm-hmm.
I was never bored at any time, nor was I like frustrated by the ineptitude of the narration, which I was in the other two books.
Yeah.
It just seemed like a straight up story about Robin. It's a story about Robin. Like, I don't have expectations that like he's gonna do a great job. Like, he's not.
Yeah.
It's not why you're reading the book, you know? Like,
Yeah.
you're reading to see him like discover and learn like kind of how to be Batman and to suffer some, you know, setbacks and
Maybe learn a lesson or two.
Yeah.
Coming back.
It had some real problems, but on the whole, I felt less problems than the other two.
Yeah.
I'll toss my hat into the ring for. I don't know why I said that. for Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
It was really fun to look at. I loved every time he was in his mind and like you saw a bunch of crazy stuff. I loved how sad he was when he just wanted to die. It was sappy, especially with all the Gene stuff, but I feel like if we're talking about like the highs, there were some great highs. There were some crappy lows, but I still had fun reading it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Wolverine 75 as well. It is ridiculous, and like I think if every comic was written like Wolverine 75, I would be exhausted because like it just goes a mile a minute, like at breakneck speed, and most of the things that are like there to make it go fast are like stupid and shouldn't even be a problem, but they are, and the way they are written, like the way that it balances like the plummeting versus like the emotional of Wolverine, like becoming the new version of Wolverine, like him popping those claws and the new sound it makes, and him abandoning his quest, and the X-Men being like, give him some tough love and treat him like an idiot. Like that, it's all really, really cool. Andy Kubert draws it; it looks great. It looks the best out of all of them.
Yes.
And ultimately, I just had more fun reading it. I guess I'd give it to Robin 2 as the next best, because Spider-Man is just. I've read it 1,000 times. I bought this off the shelf, and I was like kind of gypped because I knew the origin. But if
I paid
someone
$3.50 for this.
but if someone didn't know the origin, and it was also really a handy guide for cementing my knowledge of the character. I know how his powers work even more, like, and it's a little update about what the powers are, how they work. That was, I think, the most beneficial part of the story. Not even like the narration part, but like the info dump backup. It does have the worst poster out of all of the 30th anniversary variants. One day we'll pull all of them at I'll work it out where all 4 of those books will be eventually showcased on the show. But this one's the worst poster. So yeah, Wolverine 75 is the best, and I guess the next best, I guess the good is Spider-Man. No, I'm sorry, the good is Robin. I have more fun reading Robin than Spider-Man.
Cool.
What about you?
I'm going to tell you now what I think is the good.
Good.
Yeah,
let's-
what
let's-
do you
Because you went through all yours. I was like, all right, well, I'll just sit here quietly and wait for Sal to stop speaking.
Excellent.
I thought Robin was also the best.
All right.
Because I know you thought that the art was good in that, but like as much as it had that horrible panel, that panel of the Joker with like the broken glass in front of his face, having that moment where he sees Robin alive,
Yeah.
I was like, that's actually really good. Like that's really brilliantly like planned out, and like I just thought that was a really smart choice on the artist's like part, you know, and like made up totally for that panel we just saw.
Yeah.
It was like he put more effort into the next page.
Yeah.
And so he just kind of hurried that one
Like,
along.
yeah, this one doesn't matter. Whatever.
Yeah.
And
But
also, the exposition was done by the Joker himself.
Yeah.
By talking to people.
Yeah, but also like what I liked about this book honestly was just the fact that it felt like a Robin book, and by that I mean like it's just like he's doing his best, and he's got a van, and he's got like
like it's not afraid to be crappy.
right, and it's
Yeah.
just like, and I have a really big problem, and I have to do
Oh,
something.
God, way over my head.
I just,
What am I supposed to do?
but like I really want to be Robin.
Yeah, he's trying like to justify becoming Robin. He's
Yeah.
like, I can't be Robin by playing D&D with my friends in their basement.
Yeah, and
I can't be Robin part-time.
and I can't call Batman in right now.
No.
Yeah.
Even though
I
he
really
should.
appreciated that he's not like, I'm gonna prove my mettle against the Joker.
No, he's like,
Yeah.
Joker!
He's like, oh, I'm screwed.
The reason I have this job is because of him.
Yeah.
I agree with Ethan. I thought that was the most competently written one.
All right.
Which one's the ugly?
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Spider-Man.
I have to say X-Men. I'm sorry.
What?
Wolverine.
no.
I really like Spider-Man. Yes, is it an origin story? Is it beating over their head? But I understood why they did it, because they were trying with this gimmick to bring in the new reader. That's
Yeah.
what they wanted. I didn't like the misuse of characters like Rogue. I'm a big fan of Rogue, and you literally made her stand there and do nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's pretty
And I'm like, so for me, that's a personal, like, I'm just like, So I'm not even looking at this in a, like, non-personal way. I'm
Right.
just like, I didn't like what you did in there, sorry. So that's why I'm like,
fair enough.
yes.
Rubbed you the wrong way.
It rubbed me the wrong
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Ah, there you have it.
Yeah.
Well, so there you go, everybody. That was our episode of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Thanks so much for hanging out with us and watching us rip these apart. And hey, we'll check us out in the next episode that we do, where there'll be a totally different theme. Looking forward to seeing what that will be. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but
It's gonna be Rogue books.
it'll be just Rogue. It will not be just Rogue. I don't think I have enough books.
The new series is great.
Oh, good.
Really
Yeah.
enjoying it, yeah.
Oh, there
The
you go.
little mini,
Yeah. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you guys next time with an all new episode of The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
I'm Tiffany.
See you next week.